We're gonna move on to Zach Lavine. This is an interesting one. Really good player, but he's set to be paid something like 100 million over the next 2 years. There's a lot of continued reports that his market's really limited, but he's honestly looked really good when he's played. It's like this weird situation where like if you're buying him, you really got to believe that he puts you over the top, and I don't think any teams believe that. Mostly linked to the Lakers at this point. Do you really like that fit, Anthony?
I mean, yeah. I think he's also a two-time All-Star. He seems like a plug and play kind of player. I like him a lot. He gets injured too much. I don't think the 50 is fine. Whatever, eat it. Like I think there's a lot of good teams out there, and I think we had this conversation when we talked about the Bulls. Could he be a third option for some championship teams? I do think he could be a third option. Um, so I kind of like it, especially if you're a team with scoring for the Lakers, bro. I think it helps a lot of questions because he can make off the dribble threes by himself, right? He can really spread the floor out for LeBron and AD to do work. Like that pick and roll with Zach Lavine as a cutter or a shooter or just a playmaker with Austin Reeves on the other side. Like that's actually kind of crazy. I don't know who they trade, but
I mean, let me. I got a fake trade for you. I mean, in a hypothetical world, they could go D'Lo, Hachimura, and like some guy at the end of the bench for Levine. And it's like, do the Bulls want picks? Probably,
mhm,
maybe just one. But if you give
that's
up
all.
a fit, if you give up a pick, you really don't have any left.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you'd be going for it.
you'd be going for it, and you're kind of saying, okay, guys like Torian Prince and Cam Reddish are going to have to be good enough to play 15 minutes a game. Now, like they're not gonna have to play 25 like they were before because Zach Lavine will be there, right? But
Hmm.
um I think that's kind of the worry there.
Yeah. I just don't think that there's much of an alternative option here. Like, because Gabe Vincent, we don't know what's going to happen with him. Dude, honestly, every three-point shooter that's good just goes to the Lakers and they're trash. And then you go to the Bucks and you're Malik Beasley, and then you
Yeah.
turn into 47% from three. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And Levine is just a qualified shooter, qualified scorer. Not amazing defensively, but he holds up. He's not a minus defender like some of these other
Mhm.
stars.
Big guy, long guy.
Yeah. Um
So,
Actually, you kind of talked me into this. I really like the idea of like LeBron running point. It's like he's flanked by like Reeves, Levine, and then you can play someone like Vanderbilt maybe next to
mhm.
AD. 'Cause that's
Right.
the thing. Vanderbilt kind of gets screwed over in a lot of these lineups just because the offense is just not there. If
Yeah.
he's not great and there's other guys who aren't great next to him, but
He's one of the few. I mean, this is a tangent, but like Vanderbilt with the Lakers is one of those. It feels like an Andre Roberson with the Thunder, where you're playing 4-on-5 on offense. Um, so
it's like a
you
little bit better than that. But yeah,
yeah.
like a
Well,
little.
he can cut and he can dunk, but dude travels like he's hopping all over the world. Like it's a problem. But yeah,
Cool.
they look good. Can
Next
they make
question.
that? Yeah,
I
I don't
got a
know.
next question. Should the Bulls even move him? DeMar DeRozan is expiring at the end of this year. They probably won't re-sign him, and maybe they'll even trade him. We'll get to that later. But Kobe White's looked really good, and honestly, they've seemingly been able to play a little bit of Levine, Kobe White, and DeMar on the court at the same time, and not it's not looked that bad. Um,
Right.
if you move him, like what's the end game? What's the end game if you bring in D'Lo and Hachimura?
Well, exactly. It's not a great, it's probably not the best trade for the Bulls. Um,
Yeah. And you'd
unless-
have to really be like, okay, this relationship soured. But
yeah,
I kind of think they're just not going to be able to trade him, maybe.
right. Because you need assets, you need a younger guy. Um, I mean,
Hachim, Hachimura and D'Lo are basically like, I don't want to say they're negative assets, but they're definitely not like guys you can flip for multiple firsts or something.
yeah, you just kind of know who they are at this point as well.
It's
Yeah,
not
you
like
can't,
it's not a Drew Holiday coming back in the Dame Lillard trade, you know?
right. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's not even like Malcolm Brogdon coming back from the Drew Holiday trade.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Quentin Grimes is gonna be coming back in the Malcolm Brogdon trade.
Sheesh.